Hi everyone. This session, as usual, is being recorded. Afterwards, it will be published on our Discord server. And today I'm joined by Anastasia and David, who, as you most probably know, are core contributors of the network. And today's topic is rather special, and I'm really excited to have it because it's been a while and we need to speak about the community contributions. So today's session, our topic are the community contributions. We will go through all of the main types of them. We will touch the ideological parts of the equation, and we will try to answer some of the questions from the audience in the end of the session. So you should be able to use the live translation of the session, so you will be able to have subtitles in the language which is your native too. Should we start from more of a general questions, or we would like to start from the more technical aspects of our community contributions?
Yeah, I think that it would be nice to start with general. I think that's to give the overview. I would start with just kind of a statement. So this project is, even though there are engineers or products who originally created this protocol, but this protocol is still maintained and improved by the community. It's really great to see that the amount of PRs, the amount of contribution to the code, which are made by various community members, increases tenfold at least through the last months. So we actually move in the right direction in now when it starts to be quite active. We really want to kind of set this so to be sure that this direction is only improving, and that we work together to make the contributions to this project as smooth as possible for everyone. And these contributions, they are consist from several parts. One is when you have you see some vulnerabilities, or you see some changes which are which you believe should be urgent, and you reach out to the community. You make the changes, you contribute the PRs, and then you likely also them actually added to the recent upgrades. And these contributors actually also get rewards from the community pool, and community pool is really important part of this project. It's designed so that this protocol can evolve, and that contributors are actually rewarded for their work. But this community pool is also designed not only to kind of for this emergency changes, but the community pool is also designed to support long-term development, so that if some contributors see how they can actually help improve this protocol long-term, they should also get funding from the community pool to be supported. And this type of changes, this type of contributions can be not only in terms of engineering, in terms of the code. They can be also in terms of increasing awareness about this project, and in general moving this project forward. And for that, we also all together need to develop the process when this type of proposals are supported. And when I say supported, we should all remember that this project is governed not by us, not by this original creators. This project is governed by miners, is governed by hosts of the project, because only they have the voting power to approve some proposals. So we all together we need to streamline this process. That's when there are proposals which should be supported by all of us. That this process is smooth when these proposals are set to votes, and that majority of miners support this. But this will require a lot of work from all of us, both from the size of people who contribute to the project, but also from the miners, and because their votes matter, and for them to vote, they need to spend some time on looking into these proposals and to support the contributors. So we wanted to make this AMAs, and more AMAs around that will follow on this subject, because we all need to increase awareness about this process, and I would like to answer any question about that. And moreover, I hope that we'll have active discussion back in Discord on this subject, so that we all can get to a place where this process is streamlined. But then let's move back to the general question, Victor, and let's try to make it more clear for the community.
Just very quickly, building up on what you just said, would you say that voting is optional for hosts, or this is the right that rather should be executed?
This is actually one of the active discussions which currently happening between many miners, is whether it should be optional or whether it should be one of the protocol defined obligations of miners. And this is a good question. We all need to balance. Like all of us have roles in this process. It's decentralized network, so each of us have a specific role. And miners also hosts, they also have a lot of things to do. So we don't want to make it so hard and so restrictive to be a host. At the same time, this protocol is designed and destined to evolve, and to improve. We need these votings to happen. So we need to find the balance. So it definitely we cannot just spam all the hosts with any possible proposals which can be out there. But at the same time, when the proposals out there which are obvious for all of us that this should happen, that we should support this, we need to be sure that miners would vote for that. So it is a balance, and there is an active discussion whether we need to have a reward for voting, or we need to have a punishment for voting, or things like that. So definitely some changes around that could happen in the future, if hosts will support that. This is actually a balanced decision to make.
Thank you. What is safe to say that all of the updates and the information about them will appear on our Discord server and on the GitHub, so you will be certainly able to take a look at it prior to any changes taking place. Should we jump to you, Anastasia, and to try to dig in deeper into the types of the community contributions?
Sure, yeah. First of all, thanks, David, for going over the motivation behind community contributions. I think that's like what's really important right now is to understand that we need more community involvement to drive the network forward. And indeed, there are several major types of community contribution. You've all probably heard about the Bounty program, and a lot of contributions have been made under the Bounty program. Some things that already worked pretty well in the past include a lot of vulnerability reports that we got, fixes related to those vulnerabilities, and also some usually short-term, like moderate protocol improvements. So all that work has been going mainly via GitHub issues and PRs. We're also asking community members to report vulnerabilities as long as they are critical or really high impact directly to the project contributors. That's something that some of the contributors who reported vulnerability did in the past. So we don't want to expose the critical severity vulnerabilities publicly. But other than that, yeah, for the work that is not requiring that much time, you can continue using the same forward that you've been using so far. Use GitHub issues, create PRs. That said, there are a lot of other contributions that are also extremely important for the projects. And those can include longer term and more of the high level protocol improvement proposals, proposals of the next direction for the protocol, something that may resolve a major bottleneck for the network growth, or something like supporting different types of model, different modalities, something that requires a lot of development, a lot of coordination, and maybe more decisions that need to be aligned with the community along the way. So, as David mentioned, we really want to see more of this community involvement. And on the structure side, we'd like to ask you to publish those proposals, and Victor will post a message in Discord with like all the links and plan in GitHub discussion section. We've created a proposals discussion section there. The reason for that is that the main goal of these long-term proposal improvements is long-term sustainability and growth of this project. And we want everybody to be able to find these proposals, to be able to discuss them there, upvote, and get back to the discussions on the proposals, even when the work is in progress. So please use those discussions on GitHub to store your proposal as the main source of truth that everybody can find everything that community contributed. That said, another important point that David already brought up is that the network is governed by the miners. So please find exposure to your proposals. We'll try to help you. I think everybody involved in the project will try to help you with this. But please go on Discord, publish your proposal, the link to your proposal there, try to initiate discussions, try to bring more miners' attentions to your proposals so that before implementation, you already have feedback from the community and understanding of what's really needed.
Yeah, so here,
yeah.
Here I would do a pause a little bit. First of all, yes, proposals are in text form. But all of us know that that with the development of language models, it's not enough to write good text proposal, because this text proposal can be generated by LLMs quite easily. In moreover, this previously it would be enough. It would be a hard work to write this type of proposals. Now it's easy, but it makes harder for everyone to read it through and to check whether this proposal makes sense or not. And from this perspective, be mindful, like make sure that these proposals are thought over. It's not just your like first idea came in your mind and you just ask LLM to write it out and then you just post it. If you haven't spent much time to a proposal, it's likely not something which community should support. Remember that it should be something which people should vote for, and they should spend their time to read it through and to make a decision or on whether to support it or not. If you want other people to spend time, it means that you should spend even more time to make this proposal. Also, think about what can attract attention. So, for example, if you're writing a proposal for another wallet, it's a question whether community will have enough attention to it right now, whether it's really a pain point for the community to solve this problem right now. If you want to contribute in the way so that the network will become faster, so that we all can use the network for OpenClaw or add JLM5 or Kimi 2.5, it's likely will be supported by many because everyone wants these capabilities to be in the network. So think about it a little bit. In when Anastasia mentioned that you need to bring support, like reach out to hosts, and if your proposal is not enough for the hosts to react to at least like your proposal or comment on your proposal, it means definitely it will not pass through voting. So there is kind of an impression that you only need to convince the creators of this project so that your proposal will be supported. It's not true. Like in reality, you need the support of hosts so that this proposal to be supported. We had many proposals which haven't got enough attention of hosts, and we haven't get the quorum on the voting, so the proposals weren't accepted. So we want to work hard to find this balance, and to balance that, we will need to make sure that the proposals which are out there in Discord, they are well thought over, but they also describe something which everyone really wants right now. And this is kind of the first choice which people will choose in terms of what we need to support from community pool right now. Anastasia, do you want to continue with the types? Sorry,
couple more things to add that you already briefly mentioned, but this longer term, more involved proposals that don't just require, one quick PR that you can make in an hour, but more thorough work, more thorough planning. They both span improvements directly into the protocol, changes in the protocol itself, and the broader Gonka ecosystem, which could be third-party integrations, wallets, API clients, could be projects giving like exposure to the protocol, or anything else that basically you think will bring value to the network and require, significant work and alignment. That's something that you can also bring up in the proposals. There is a brief explanation of what we would like you to add to the proposal to increase the chances of it getting, enough attention and reviews, being like the motivation and the problem that you are trying to solve with this proposal. Yeah, one of the most important things here, but also like high-level implementation and possibly more detailed roadmap and open questions that you might not know how to solve, but that shouldn't be necessarily a blocker for submitting the proposal, as long as it can initiate discussion in which answers to these open questions can be found.
Yes, so
Yeah.
one important part here, like, yes, what should be in this proposal? First thing, you need to describe who you are and why people should trust you to send coins to your account. And this is also important. So Discord is all like usernames and like and people write the proposals, and somehow people should decide to send $100,000 to you. It will never happen. Like people will not support such proposals. So the first thing, describe who you are. Like add your LinkedIn. Describe what your company did in the past. So if you look right now, like it was a couple weeks ago, there was one of the proposals posted by the Soul Publishing. It's actually a great example. We really need to see more examples like that. A company came, which actually previously created one of the largest, its own one of the largest networks of YouTube networks. They have 3 billion views on their YouTube networks, and they offering us as a community to work on Gonka presence in YouTube. So this proposal is quite clear to support. It's a description of who you are, like why you actually a good why we need to decide to support you in this contribution. If you already previously contributed to Gonka, describe this previous contribution. Describe that you actually got some rewards already from community pools, so you already have reputation. So it's either should be external reputation, external validation, which you can put on the table and say like, here it is. Here is my description, or is it this is my company. I have the experience. I have the experience in blockchain, or I have experience in AI. I worked on this side project. Or if you don't have this history, if you don't have these credentials, then maybe you early miner, put your account, say that I'm early miner. I was with the project from September last year or from October last year, or that I previously already contributed. If you don't have these credentials, don't jump in with a proposal for 100K GNK. First, actually make some contributions to the ongoing tasks and get some smaller rewards, and then build the reputation. We are going to publish the shoutouts for the biggest contributors to the protocol. So you will earn reputation through this process as well. But this is important. So just when you publish a proposal, it's not enough it to be a good proposal. If you think that this proposal should be supported by community pool, by transferring funds to your account, it means that you need to explain, all of us, not only us, to the entire community of hosts, why you are the best candidate to solve it. In reality, that's true that your proactive position is already a good sign for you to be a good candidate. But it is not enough. If you don't require support for community pool, if you're just ready to implement something, for sure, please implement. But if you want to get support, and we need to support such projects, if you want to get support, that mean that it should be obvious from your proposal why you are the best candidate for this proposal to be implemented.
So just to quickly summarize, first of all, thank you very much because the great example was also a slightly a cornerstone in some cases. So I'm very happy that you mentioned this whole project. So you don't need to be big or huge. You just need to be credible, and there should be a logical background to your proposal. And very important thing, you do not need to impress founding team of Gonka. It's rather the question of negotiation with the whole community of hosts themselves that also need to evaluate your proposal, because at the end of the day, it is them who will be approving it or rejecting it.
So I see many questions around um, having an AMA in Russian. For sure, let's make it happen. I hope that Victor will organize it soon. We also plan to publish some process for other external groups to invite us for AMA, so that we'll try to expand it. Still, we're trying to be inclusive, and I know that people speak different languages, but English is kind of a standard for this industry. But definitely, let's do it in Russian as well. Like we can definitely organize it easily. I also see some questions on where can you find some tasks. I think the link was shared, but also we are going to make regular calls around these discussions of what should be implemented. So you will be able to join these calls. They will be not as general. They will be primarily to people who really want to contribute and to have some ideas to discuss. Soon we have more regular calls like that.
Several notes on that about the tasks that can be picked up to participate in Bounty program to build that reputation and trust. You can check out GitHub issues, and there are tasks appearing there marked as up for grabs. And as we get more community involvement into what we're building, I'm sure we'll get more tasks available there. And as for the calls that David mentioned, we'll indeed be launching several run-in sessions of calls, including the first one that will happen next Monday. We'll post an announcement shortly. That one will be focused on the protocol improvements, Gonka protocol improvements itself, similar to the early days of Bitcoin improvement calls and what other networks have, or at least used to have in the beginning of setting up this process. So that would be a place where we can discuss proposals for, well, important improvements to the protocol, but we'll also have a space where a community can present and discuss the wider ecosystem proposals that don't directly affect protocol. So stay tuned for the announcements of that in Discord. As I mentioned, this would be run-in sessions. So if we have too many proposals, and I think we already might get to this point from everything that was hitting Discord, we will just schedule the next session sooner.
Yes. So I see a question from Alex on agents in support by Gonka. And this is actually a good example. So we definitely see the moment. And it definitely would be great to be part of this moment when agents start to be more and more popular. And each person who tried to run their OpenClaw with Cloud Opus really soon realizes that it's quite expensive to run. So it's a really great moment. So people tried to hack the AUS keys from the unlimited accounts from Google and from Claude. So they all right now banned. So it's really a great moment for us to thrive. In reality, we need to make some things happen before we'll be able to ride this wave. And because it's so timely, this is a really great example of where your contribution matters a lot. So I understand that we need to build all the tools around the ecosystem, the access, and things like that. But this is something urgent when you can get a lot of supports. We see right now some people who build proxy for OpenClaw. So if you ask whether it's possible to use OpenClaw, it is possible. But in reality, we see some improvements of the network which should be done for that to be really big. So in there, your contribution right now can mean a lot for the network. So please try to discuss it in Discord. We discussed it, some tasks which need to be implemented before we actually will be able, for example, to remove the limit on the amount of transactions. For that, we will need to move inference transactions from the main chain is a big thing. Like if you can contribute in that, it will be big win for the network. The upgrade of VLM so that we can support the latest models. We right now have 3 teams actually working in parallel to make it happen as soon as possible. And this is okay. Like when we have some urgent things, it's even okay that people work in parallel, that each of you can get the reward from the community pool if your contribution is actually workable, and even if you was a little bit later than others to implement. Why? Because we need to move faster forward, and this is definitely like everything we can do for that is the right thing to do. So we need to, another work which is happening is with new POC version 2, there is refactoring which should be made to support multi-models. It's a quite important thing. So these 3 things need to be done before we will be able to ride the wave of agents and will be the best solution for agents right now. So this can be big for the network. And yes, like personally, core contributors right now work hard to make it possible to deliver it faster. But together, we can definitely do it faster. So if you feel yourself empowered to actually join the contribution, or you already contribute, this is the moment where your contribution can mean a lot for the network, especially because of the subject. And this is also example of what I mentioned before, that if you come to the community and offer the solution, which can move the community in this project, in this network forward right now, it is more likely to be supported rather than something which can be helpful, for example, for the hosts, but it's not urgent for the hosts. So if you still, after this call, will have questions and you will still don't know what to do, and this is the only thing which stops you, let community know that you exist in Discord. Like there is a separate channel for that, for discussion improvements. Just post it there that you are open to contribute, even if you don't know what exact contribution is right now needed for the project.
All right. Anastasia, do you have anything to add?
No, I think we went over the motivation behind contributing and like the types of the contribution, and we'll publish the instructions of how to get your discussion going, and please feel free to use all the resources available to you, Discord, Telegram chats, whatever, like other connections to the community you have, to keep these discussions going. And let's just make it happen.
All right, then I would say that it's my turn because based on everything that was just mentioned today, first of all, I wanted to say thank you for everyone that joined us, but mainly we are opening the new channel in our Discord server that will be focused on the AMA suggestions that are coming directly from the community. And I'm making it public right after the meeting, so you would be able to go through the initial message from me where you can see what is the structure, how do we see the contribution. But nonetheless, it's always extremely encouraged to send there a message and describe your project. And as was described by David, if you are credible, you don't need to be big. You just need to be useful, and you need to think about the long-term development of the network. There will be always place for the discussion if something like this will be happening. And since there were quite several questions in the community contributions AMA chat here, and because Anastasia is great, we confirmed that this Thursday we will have a session in Russian where we will focus on the questions that will be coming directly from the community. I am creating the special thread for the questions in Russian for the upcoming session as we speak. The event itself would be announced on Discord together with our Bitcoin style Gonka improvement protocol session, together with all of the information on the dates and the agenda of the upcoming event. Am I missing something?
No, I think still, if you believe that some discussion should happen, but it's not happening, also please share. And Victor is quite active in Discord, so we definitely let's try to organize. And also we, as I mentioned, we will post a process where actually other like subgroups and sub-communities of Gonka will be able to also organize their AMAs. So it shouldn't only organized by Victor. The community is growing, so we need to make sure that every type of discussion is happening. I see a question on dashboards. Dashboards are really great and they are important. And you're right that there are few discussions on making it easier to vote through dashboards. With dashboards, though, there is several things. First, many dashboards were built around mining pools. So they kind of have their own like revenue generation. That's why they were able to build these products even without support of the community pool. Community pool in general is designed to support the projects which are not for profit, but which are genuine contribution for the community. So if you like build an open source dashboards or things like that, this can be example to support. But with dashboards also, it's important for people to use it. Like if you just coded a dashboard, but only a few people use it, it will not change much. And currently, because the pool organizers, they were much faster to develop the dashboards. They had the incentive to do it because they wanted to attract more clients to their pools. They managed to build the audience around their dashboards. In our position from day one was that we don't touch, we don't run our own dashboards. Dashboards are run on all the nodes by themselves, but also the community run dashboards, I think right now are more popular than even those which are run by the nodes. So this is example of the things which I think it just would be harder to gather consensus right now that this is immediately should be supported because there is no momentum. Even though we personally push all the dashboard owners that it's important to add easier voting, because maybe through this process we'll have more people vote on the proposals. And I mentioned that this is something really important. So still, if you have a concrete plan how to make more hosts to vote, if you actually reach out to hosts and they told you that, yes, it's really painful for me right now to vote, if you will develop this dashboard, I will support it. And if they can come in like your proposal and support your proposal, then this will take the momentum. But without such support, I would say that this is example of proposal which it's right thing to do, but it would be really hard to gather momentum around this. So in terms of the question is, what is the 3 most important areas to focus our effort on right now? So there is a big effort to, as soon as possible, to make Gonka the best solution for agents. It's kind of, there is, as I mentioned, there is several sub efforts within this effort. And if you can anyhow contribute to that, I think that this is the biggest contribution which should be made. Another big area, and right now I personally talk with several really experienced team in blockchain development, that we need to gather kind of we need to gather a group which will be funded by the community pool, but which will be responsible for all urgent problems of hosts. Like, for example, right now, there is a known issue with snapshots. When you install a new node and when you download snapshot from the participants, there is some issue in most cases, the node can be started. It's a new thing, so this urgent problems, they constantly evolve. Like every couple of weeks, we have them. And this create a big overhead in distraction from the improvements of the network. So I think that it's really important for the community to have a dedicated group with a captain, which will be supported by the community pool, like continuously supported by the community pool. But this group should be the kind of the first to reach by the hosts as soon as they have any issue, whether there is a DDoS attack in the network, or whether they have the problems with initial setup, or there is an ongoing problem with the setup or with the nodes. So everyone who can contribute to this second group, or who believes that they have enough credentials to actually kind of gather support around that, I would try to invite the founder of INC4, it's quite reputable blockchain development company, to one of the next calls. Maybe they can gather a group around them, so that miners can definitely support this. So we need to make it happen. And the third, I believe, will be everything connected to multimodalities, in support of different like video generation or image generation. It is a quite, there are many things to like kind of sub efforts which should be made before this become possible. It's still like we proved on with language models that is definitely possible, and it's quite clear how to implement it, but still like a lot of efforts should be done. So I would say that this is a priority number 3, but still it is for community to decide what is priority. I also when I say that this is the priority, I just also try to hear what people are saying, and the amount of discussions in the community around how I can run my OpenClaw on Gonka is like quite visible. So that's why I'm saying that it's priority number one. I actually really hope to switch all my agents as well to this. So I think that especially when you feel that you need it for yourself, it's more likely that you also would contribute with passion. So yes, I would say that these three areas are important ones. So if you feel that you can contribute to any of these areas, please make yourself visible, so that community knows that we can rely on you, and you can add some support.
And I also see a bunch of related questions in the chat, not just on the level of priority, but more detailed questions on these topics. And for those, I'd like to ask you to join the Bitcoin style improvements proposal call, where we'd have more time to discuss support of different models, multimodal, POC, other things that are on the list of priorities and can push network forward.
And the news about when this event will happen will shortly appear on our Discord server, just so you know. Better to repeat.
So please join if you have proposals, but also if you are involved and you want to discuss and ask questions and participate in that.
Yeah, so in general, I want all of us think through the perspective that we need to do much more from the perspective of the community pool. And the community pool, it was designed for that. Initially, in Genesis, 120 million Gonka coins were put in the community pool. So it's quite a reserve to actually it's enough resources to make big changes. It's not designed to be spent right away, but what we need to think that in a year, like in this year, we need to kind of target to use like at least like 10-20 million JNKs from that. So it's much more than what we do right now. So that we can kind of compare the scale of the community contribution right now compared to where we need to be. And for that, we will need to bring like more like reputable organizations who would want to contribute. We will need to build this, I don't know, reputation system for the contributors so that we can streamline this process. We'll need to pool some proposals together so that it will be easier for miners to vote. Even though it's a little bit complicated, because if miners will not want to support one proposal but want to support another proposals, if we will pool, we can actually not get enough votes for the proposal. So we need to, as a community, we need to be smart with that. I really hope, for example, that this proposal, which was made by the Soul Publishing, that they actually eventually will publish the proposal. I hope that people are as excited as me to get 400 million people know about Gonka. It's a great thing for the community. So we need to use these resources, but for that, we as a contributors need to make it obvious for hosts to support this. So if you, for example, can bring someone with credential with you to join the forces and to make more stronger proposal, or for example, if you have a proposal to improve your own dashboard, it maybe will not get enough momentum. If you gather all dashboard owners and together will make like one single proposal, it would be much obvious for community to support. So think about this from this perspective. So that we need to do both. We need to have a really good solid proposals so that it's obvious to support. We need to have a credibility behind this proposal so that it's obvious to support. And then we need miners to be more proactive also to support this. Because if like in 1 year from now, we haven't used these resources, like for example, we only use like 200K JNK from that, it's likely mean that this network wasn't developed in the way it could have been. So it means that we haven't used this opportunity to make it stronger players. And when we see that this rise of agents, and definitely there is all of these discussions of how expensive it is, and that we all need alternatives, and we are not there, it means we haven't put enough resources to upgrade our network so that it can be an important player there. So that's why these discussions are important. So please first contribute. If you see some problems with, like for example, if you're a host and it's just hard for you to vote, make your voice also heard. That it means that if this voice heard, this will be prioritized. If something can be made better in this voting process, so that you know which proposals to support, also let us know what we can do better. So please, if you have some ideas on how to organize community better, also please reach out to Victor, or just publish your proposals in Discord, and let's discuss. Let's make it more streamlined, because we definitely all have resources to make this happen. So let's find the proper way and balance for it to happen, so that in a month from now, we already will have even like 10 times more contributions made, and still not only in the code, but also in how the awareness about the project increase, or improvements of documentation, or anything like that. So all of these contributions matter, and if we will be able to streamline this process, this project definitely will increase its value, so all of us will win from that. Victor, do you have any other questions which
I believe that encompasses it, and as you just answered, I believe you were answering the question of Dmitry regarding the updates, potential public general news and updates via the Telegram channel. There's a variety of those channels, and since we are not a company and not a startup, those Telegram channels do exist absolutely separately from our control, but the information which is being streamlined there is coming from the main source of our technical truth, which is our Discord server that goes right after the GitHub. And obviously do your own research. We are not able to recommend none of those communities, but at the same time, a more streamlined way of receiving the information about Gonka does exist in Telegram channels and is being created by the community members that are vastly presented on the Discord server. And I believe that that's everything from my side. We touched several general questions. We went through the ideological aspects of our understanding of the community contributions, and Anastasia touched technical perspective of the question. I think that the last thing that I would like to mention is that aside from the Bitcoin style Gonka improvement protocol session that will happen shortly, we will also have a session on Russian shortly after this one that will be focused on the questions that will be coming directly from the community. And information about that will appear again on the Discord server. And I'm right now creating the separate channel where you will be able to send those questions in Russian. I will be able to gather them, and we will be able to prepare a session for you. We can call it a wrap.
I think that there are a couple of questions. They are unrelated, but we definitely can use some moment. So in terms of government involvement, I can only say that some governments mine Gonkas as they participate in the network actively. So I think that when they will feel comfortable to say more about that, they will definitely do. I think in general we have a quite strong position for their current desire to ensure their sovereignty by being more independent from bigger players. In terms of commercial use case, I think that agents will be the biggest use case. You can see from Open Router in systems like that, the usage are really high right now, and it will be even higher. And that's what we were saying early on as well, that when you chat with, for example, ChatGPT, it used to be that for your 100 words, you will get 100 words back. Then when thinking was added, yes, when there is internal thinking of the process, for every 100 words, actually it's already 1,000 or 10,000 of words back. You don't see them, this in the internal process, but you pay for these tokens. When it's about agents, for every 100 words which you typed in, it's hundreds, thousands of millions tokens are used. So, but they are convenient, and people really love what they get in returns. But the usage will only increase, and the agents are definitely great example of where we can be strong. And the good part is that right now the biggest agents are open source, and people really want to find the independent way, not just running the Claude Cowork or Manus, which was just acquired by Meta. They want to have independent, and the really great thing that the more powerful agent right now are actually open source independent agents. So it's a really great moment for Gonka. That this is why we build it. When we only started, there was only Llama as open weight model. So this wasn't really the greatest model, but still it was good enough. But then when DeepSeek was released, it was really a great example that open weight models can be as powerful as closed models. So we were inspired by that, and we were like rushing fast to actually release mainnet of Gonka. But by the time when we released mainnet of Gonka in Open Router, all top models were closed models. And for first 4 months of Gonka, it was the case that still kind of closed models were preferred one to use. But with this new race of agents, if you will look at Open Router right now, most of the top models are open weight models. Kimi 2.5, Minimax, or JLM, they are the top models right now because they're really great for agents, And you don't pay this fortune which you should pay for cloud Opus or things like that. So here we can play really great role. We just need to make sure that the service provided by the network is the best service which people can find. In this case, there won't be a question what is a commercial case for decentralized AI, and this would be a really great moment for open source community to regain the power and give this power to people.
All right. Now we're on the clock. There is the last question coming in Russian. I would encourage all of the people to use the dedicated thread. It will appear shortly after the meeting, together with the announcement of the Russian speaking session. And we will collect all of the data from there to ensure that we are covering everything. Also, last but not least, very important, this particular session nonetheless will appear as a recording tomorrow on the server as all of the others. Thank you, everyone. We had a very good count of people, and I'm wishing you a great evening or morning.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.